All right, so I'm here today to walk you through a sample constructed response. After every math test, we will be doing these constructed responses, except this first one. It's done for you, and it's to help you understand what we're looking for in third grade. Another reason we do Problem of the Days every day is to help you practice communicating in math. That's part of a third grade skill, and it's difficult, so we're going to work on it all year. But I want you to look at the constructed response that would have been part of your test this time, but we're going to save a constructed response until next time. All right, so the first part says, Franco says that when he multiplies any number by a factor, the product is always equal to the number. What is the factor? So his answer is, or this person's answer is, the factor is 1, right? Anything times 1 is that other number. Now this person said, the identity property of multiplication states that the product of any number and the 1 is that number. And they gave an example. That's a great tip. Giving an example helps prove your point. For example, 5 times 1 and 1 times 8. I would say if you didn't want to use the name of the identity property, you don't have to, but explaining what that means, what times 1 means, like saying, when you multiply by 1, you are putting those other items into one equal group, right? One group of 5, 1 times 5, so you would have 5. So where you'd see possible explanation, that's just one of many different explanations. It doesn't have to be exactly that. All right. Sorry, the paper isn't wonderful, but I did my best. Another part of a constructed response is a two-part extended constructed response. And these really get you thinking. So you have to read them carefully and think about what it's showing and telling you, and then answering it. So this is saying Kendall uses tiles to make an array and writes a multiplication sentence. So here are the tiles to the right, and you can count them up, but she wrote, or it says, write the multiplication sentence that Kendall should write for the array, then explain why you wrote that multiplication sentence. So think of it as teaching someone else how to read or how to figure out an array. Right? She wrote 4 times 6 equals 24. A possible explanation, the array shows 4 rows, and that's right, or right along across. 4 rows, and each row has 6 tiles. These are the factors. The product is the total number of tiles used in the array, 24. I love how she used the vocabulary, or he. I love how the student used the vocabulary to help show that you really know your stuff. Remember, our vocabulary will be available when you take a test, whether it's on the wall or I have a resource for you that you can keep right there at your desk. Vocabulary isn't something you're going to need to memorize, but it is something that you should start using in your daily math explaining. And then the second part of the extended constructed response often has to do with the first part. So this second part saying, Brian claims that he can make an array that shows the same product. Remember, the product was 24, as Kendall's array, but with different factors. So that means we can't use 6 or 4. Is Brian correct? Explain. Then draw an array to prove your answer. A lot of times, third graders miss certain steps because they're reading really quickly and they just want to get it done. This person wrote, Brian is correct. He could make an array with 3 rows and 8 counters in each row, which would show 3 times 8 is 24. And then he drew his 3 rows of 8. Now remember, this is a possible drawing. There are other right answers. You could do one big long row of 24, right? One group of 24, 1 times 24. You could do 2 rows of 12. But again, you have to show that you understand what arrays are, that there's often more than one way to get to the same product using different factors. I hope this helps show you what a good third grade response is for a constructed response. And we'll continue practicing this all year because it is a tricky skill. All right, see you later.